Frederick Victor was born on the 24th of June, 1833, in Uniontown, Dauphin, Pennsylvania. Born to Francis Fichter Victor and Eleanor Victor, he had one brother and three sisters. His father died when he was 8 years old, leaving Lawrence, Frederick's older brother, the man of the house. The family would grow up farming in the fertile hills of Virginia. Frederick is described as being 5 foot 11 inches tall, with a fair complexion, brown hair, and gray eyes. There are no known photographs of him. 3 months after the start of the Civil War, Frederick would join the Union. He would enlist on the 29th of July, 1861, in Washington, D.C. He would be a private in Company F of the 40th Pennsylvania Reserve Volunteer Infantry. This unit was also known as the 11th Pennsylvania Reserve Regiment. This regiment would be involved in many battles of the conflict. Those that we will be looking at for this story are the 7 Days Battle, Battle of Gaines' Mill, Battle of Malvern Hill, and the Wilderness Campaign. These are engagements that are mentioned in Frederick's military papers. In 1862, the 7 Days Battle was fought from June 25th to July 1st, near the southern capital of Richmond, Virginia. Confederate General Robert E. Lee drove the Union Army of the Potomac away from the capital. Major General George B. McClellan was the commander of the Army of the Potomac. He and his forces retreated away from Richmond and down the Virginia Peninsula. This series of battles is sometimes known as the 7 Days Campaign. This was actually the culmination of the Peninsula Campaign. The Battle of Gaines' Mill, also known as the Battle of Chickahominy River, took place on June 27, 1862, in Hanover County, Virginia. This was the third of the 7 Days battles. It was preceded by the inconclusive Battle of Beaver Dam Creek the day before. General Lee renewed his attacks against the Union right flank that was relatively isolated on the north side of the Chickahominy River. It was in this battle that Frederick and several other Union troops were taken captive by Confederate forces. Frederick and several other soldiers managed to break free of their captors between June 28th and July 1st. They would manage to rejoin their army. On July 1st, Frederick and his comrades were between the lines at the Battle of Malvern Hill. He was struck by a stray shot that hit his left hand. This injury would cause the loss of his small finger on that hand. He would be sent to Carver Hospital in Washington, D.C., where they would treat his hand. The 11th Pennsylvania would be involved in several major battles in the war. These battles would include the Second Battle of Bull Run, or Second Manassas. Union casualties were about 14,000 killed or wounded out of 62,000 engaged. The Confederates lost about 1,000 killed and 7,000 wounded out of 50,000. This battle was a tactical victory for the Confederates and was another blow to Union morale. The Battle of Antietam, or Battle of Sharpsburg, was fought on September 17, 1862. There were more than 22,000 casualties in total. Doctors were overwhelmed. The angel of the battlefield, Clara Barton, brought in badly needed supplies. The Battle of Fredericksburg was fought December 11th through 15th, 1862. There were 18,030 killed, wounded, missing, or captured. The Battle of Gettysburg was fought from July 1st through 3rd, 1863. The Union casualties were 23,055 killed, 14,531 wounded, and 5,369 captured or missing. The Confederate casualties are more difficult to estimate. Nearly a third of General Lee's general officers were killed, wounded, or captured. And the Battle of the Wilderness. In May of 1864, the 11th Pennsylvania would be at the Battle of the Wilderness. This battle would be fought from the 5th of May to the 7th. Frederick would be severely wounded on the 5th day of May. He would suffer a wound to the right arm, and it would have to be amputated. Unable to fight any more, he would be discharged on the 13th of September, 1864, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. After the war, Frederick would move to the Ohio River Valley in the area of Greenup, Kentucky, and Ironton, Ohio. It was here that he would meet Elizabeth E. Stewart, and together they would start their family. Their daughter, Sarah Ellen, would be born on the 28th of October, 1869, in the town of Greenup, Kentucky. Frederick and Elizabeth would be married the following year. According to their marriage record, they were married in Ironton, Ohio, on the 28th of October, 1870. This young family would be living in Washington, Ohio, in 1870. Frederick would be a common laborer. Between 1870 and 1873, Frederick would move his family to Kentucky. It is here that the rest of his and Elizabeth's children were born. August 3, 1873, would see the first son, Charles, born. March 1, 1878, Edward would be born. August 15, 1879, would welcome a third son, Sherman Franklin. 2 more daughters would follow, Lucy on the 28th of October, 1881, and Mary May on January 19, 1884. In 1890, the family is living in Greenup, Kentucky. Frederick would raise his family farming. In 1892, Frederick would be sued for $10,000 by his neighbor, James Fetters. Fetters had caught his wife in an affair with Frederick. A lawsuit was unusual for this type of situation. At that time, a shotgun would have been customary. At the age of 50, Frederick's life would come to an end due to ulcers of the stomach. He would pass to the next life on July 26, 1898, in Washington, Ohio. He was laid to rest in the Green Lawn Cemetery in Portsmouth, DeSoto County, Ohio.